A generation often underestimated, considered incapable or directionless, the Gen Z has made history in Nepal. Massive protests forced the Prime Minister to resign, and the situation escalated to the point where government buildings were set on fire. Even high-ranking officials were attacked, and tragically, some lives were lost in the chaos. So what caused such intense anger? Was it simply about banning social media? Not entirely. Multiple factors combined to spark these protests. Let's break them down. On 8 September 2025, thousands of young people gathered in Kathmandu, Nepal's capital. Most were aged 20 to 25, some still in school or college uniforms. The peaceful protest was organized by a local NGO, beginning at a symbolic monument and moving toward the parliament. Initially non-violent, the protests turned confrontational after authorities tried to stop the demonstrators using water cannons, tear gas, and rubber bullets. Eventually, clashes escalated, with some protesters entering the parliament grounds. Tragically, security forces fired live ammunition, killing at least 19 protesters and injuring hundreds more, including a 12-year-old child. The brutality shocked the nation, fueling further protests across Kathmandu, Pokhara, Butwal, Bharatpur, and Damak. Roads overflowed with demonstrators, and even a curfew failed to contain the movement. While social media restrictions were widely discussed as a trigger, they were only part of the story. Young people were frustrated with corruption, misgovernance, nepotism, and rising unemployment. In recent years, the government had tried to regulate social media to prevent fake news and cybercrime. Many platforms were restricted after failing to comply, which further angered citizens. For the youth, these platforms were not just entertainment. They were vital for communication, information, and work opportunities, especially in tourism. Beyond social media, the larger issue was economic inequality. In 2024, 20.82% of young Nepalis were unemployed. Many sought opportunities abroad, including in risky ventures like fighting in foreign conflicts just to earn a living. Meanwhile, children of politicians were flaunting luxury lifestyles on social media, highlighting the stark contrast between the elite and the common people. These frustrations converged, creating a tipping point. The social media ban acted as a spark, igniting the broader anger over systemic corruption, nepotism, and unemployment. The protests demanded systemic reforms. Initially, the government tried to suppress the movement using authoritarian measures, but ultimately, it had to concede. Officials resigned, restrictions were lifted, and eventually, the Prime Minister stepped down. Nepal now stands as a live example of what happens when governments ignore public grievances for too long. Suppressing voices and neglecting issues like corruption and unemployment can escalate into nationwide unrest. The solution, however, must remain within democratic frameworks. True change comes from reform and accountability, not suppression. The key takeaway? Governments must listen to their citizens and address inequalities before frustration escalates. The youth of a nation can be a powerful force for change when given the right opportunities and respect. This version is now